Hey guys, what's up? Ramadan Kareem. Hope you guys enjoyed this fantastic and holy month. So, last time, or in brackets, in our last episode, we started the story of a little princess. Just a reminder, it is very true, and it's been written by Frances Hodgson. So, last time we stopped when Miss Minchin's lawyer came and told her about Sarah's dad's death. So let's start in page 14. There are no diamond mines, said the lawyer. Well, there are mines, but there are no diamonds in them. But Mr. Crew's good friend, began Miss Minchin. Mr. Crew's good friend, said the lawyer, ran away with all Mr. Crew's money. Ralph Crewe was ill with a fever, and when he heard about this, he got worse. A week later, he was dead. Dead? Cried Miss Minchin. But what about his daughter Sarah and his expensive birthday party? Sarah Crewe has no money, said the lawyer. Not a penny in the world, Miss Minchin. Not a penny? She must leave my school at once, Miss Minchin said angrily. She must go this afternoon. Where? Said the lawyer. Out into the streets. An 11-year-old? That's not going to look very good for your school, Miss Minchin, said the lawyer. Miss Minchin's face went red. You can't put her out in the streets, said the lawyer. He stood up. But perhaps she can work for you. The lawyer left, and Miss Minchin called her sister Amelia. Bring Sarah Crewe here at once, she said. 2 minutes later, Sarah, in her beautiful blue party dress, stood in front of Miss Minchin. Have you a black dress, Sarah? Miss Minchin said coldly. Yes, Miss Minchin, said Sarah, but it's very small. Go and put it on at once, she said. And your father is dead. There were no diamond mines, and your father's friend ran away with all his money. You have nothing, not even a penny. But I'm going to be kind for you. You can stay in my house, but now you must be a servant and work for your bread. You can sleep in a servant's room upstairs next to Becky's room. Chapter 3, The New Servant Girl. This evening, in the little attic room, Sarah sat on the bed and in her old dress. She did not cry, but her face was white and she did not move or speak for hours. Late at night, the door opened quietly and Becky looked in. Her eyes were red from crying. Oh, miss, she said, all the servants are talking about it. I'm so sorry, so sorry. She looked at Sarah's white face and began to cry again. She ran to Sarah and took her hand. At last Sarah moved. Slowly, she turned her head and looked at Becky. Oh, Becky, she said, and that was all. That first night in the attic was very long. Sarah did not sleep. Father is dead, she whispered. Again and again. Father is dead. I'm never going to see him again. The next morning, Sarah's new life began. She learned to clean floors and to make fires. She ran upstairs and downstairs and she worked in the kitchen. The cook was a big woman with a red, angry face. So, she said, the little rich girl with the diamond mines is now a servant. Ugh. She looked at Sarah. Now I'm making apple pies this morning. Run down to the shops and get me some apples, and be quick. So Sarah ran to the shops and carried a big bag of apples back to the house. Then she cleaned in the kitchens, floors, and carried hot water to all the bedrooms. She worked every day from early in the morning to late at night. She helped in the school too. You speak French well, Miss Minchin said to her coldly. So you can teach French to the younger girls. But you're only a servant. Don't forget that. The first months of Sarah's new life was very hard. She was always tired and hungry, but she never cried. At night, in her little attic, she thought about her father dead in India, all those miles away. I must be brave, she said. Father always wanted me to be brave, and I have a bed to sleep in and something to eat every day. Lots of people don't have that. At first, Sarah's only friend was Becky. Every day, Becky came into Sarah's room. They did not talk much, but it helped Sarah a lot to see Becky's friendly, smiling face. The girls in the schools were sorry for Sarah, but Sarah was a servant now, and they could not be friendly with a servant. Lavinia, of course, was pleased. I never liked Sarah Crewe. she told her friends. And I was right. Those diamonds were not even existence. Ermengarde was very unhappy. When she saw Sarah in the school, Sarah walked past her and did not speak. Poor Ermengarde loved Sarah, and she did not want to be a friend of hers, said Lavinia. One morning, very early, she got quietly out of bed, went upstairs to the attic, and opened the doors. Ermengarde, said Sarah, what are you doing here? Ermengarde began to cry. Oh, Sarah, please tell me, what is the matter? Why don't you like me now? I do like you, said Sarah. Of course I do, but you see, everything is so different now. Miss Minchin doesn't want me to talk to any of the girls. Most of them don't want to talk to me either. And I thought perhaps you didn't want to me. And I thought perhaps you didn't want me. But I'm your friend, cried Ermengarde. I'm always going to be your friend, and nobody can stop me. Sarah took Ermengarde's hand. She suddenly felt very happy. Perhaps she cried a little too. Who can say? There was only one chair, so the two friends sat on the bed. Ermengarde looked around the attic. Oh, Sarah, how can you live in this room? It's so cold and dirty. It's not bad, said Sarah. I've got lots of friends. There is Becky in the next room. And come see. She moved the table under the window, and then her and Ermengarde stood up on it and looked out of the window over the roofs of the houses. In her pocket, Sarah had some small pieces of bread. She put her hand out of the window with the bread on it. Watch, she said. After a minute, a little brown bird flew down to Sarah's hand and began to eat the bread. Then a second bird came, and a third, and a fourth. Oh, Sarah, how wonderful, said Ermengarde. They know I'm their friend, said Sarah. They're not afraid. Sometimes they come to my room, too. Ermengarde looked across the roof at the next attic window. Who lives in that house? She said. Nobody, said Sarah sadly. So I never see anybody at that window. I can only talk to the birds. But one night, 2 or 3 weeks later, Becky came into Sarah's room. She was very excited. Oh, miss, she said, an Indian gentleman is moving into the house next door. Well, he's English, but he lived in India for years and years, and now he's going to live next door. He's very rich and he's ill. Sometimes he had bad things, but I don't know. What? Sarah laughed. So, how do you know all this? She said. Well, miss, you know, Carmichael family cross the street, Becky said. I'm friendly with their kitchen girl. And she told me Mr. Carmichael's Indian gentleman lawyer, so she knows all about him. Chapter 4, Ramdas and the Monkey. Every morning when Sarah gave the birds the bread, she looked across to the attic window next door, but nobody opened it. Nobody called out good morning across the roof, or gave Sarah a friendly smile. Perhaps the Indian gentleman's servants are all downstairs, she said sadly. Her life was very lonely now. She saw Becky every day, of course, but they did not have much time to talk. The cook and the other servants were not friendly. Sometimes at night, Ermengarde came up to Sarah's room, but it was not easy for her to come often. Then one evening, Sarah was in her attic when she heard a noise on the roof. She looked up, and there at the window was a small monkey. Oh, you dear little thing, cried Sarah. At once the monkey jumped down and began to run around the room. Sarah laughed. She got up on the table and looked out from the window. And that was it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yes, I changed my voice a lot. And even though when I changed Becky's voice, it was fine. I did it on purpose. So because I think as a servant for Becky's role, she could change her voice as from the emotions very quickly and fast. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will put in the description box one of my stories. So if you guys are interested and did not find the links in the other videos. Ramadan Kareem again. Hope you guys enjoy this week as Ramadan month. Bye!